Hi everyone, I'm Jacqueline Banton and this is my health audit for the University of Canberra's Southside. Before I go into the audit, I think it's important to recognise the determinants of health. Health is defined as the combination of physical, spiritual and mental well-being, but a large number of factors directly and indirectly impact our health. These include housing, education, living and working conditions, healthcare services, and on a more individual level, age, sex, lifestyle, and genetics. When proposing and developing a worksite, it's important to recognise the health issues and impacts of a built environment and try to design a functional living and working space that fosters a healthy lifestyle. The University of New South Wales Built Environment Program has done this, addressing areas in construction and production that can be altered to best promote a healthy lifestyle. I have chosen the south side of the University of Canberra as I lived there for 2 years and know it well. I will split the south side into two parts because I believe both parts differ in their workability and functionality due to how recently they were developed. The first section I will focus on is Cooper Lodge, UC Lodge and the cafes nearby. Cooper and UC Lodge are situated closer to the main area of campus. They are both 7 stories tall and are recent additions to the UC housing options. Because they are both new, the footpaths are well maintained, pathways are smooth, and there are no objects that obstruct the footpaths. They both have 2 lifts, which are sometimes out of order, but always one seems to be working. There's no housing options on the ground floor, so other options may be more suitable for those in a wheelchair who need to rely on the lifts working, / in an emergency when both lifts would be shut down. It is a pleasant design and there's a grassed area located near both buildings, although it's a bit unwelcoming and underused. There's 6 silver benches located outside where this area is, but they are also unutilised and could be moved to a better location or be set up a bit differently to be more used and welcoming. There is plenty of shade cast by the buildings and there's a little bit of natural shade cast by the trees. This part of campus feels very safe during the day, but is not very well lit during the night and the lights tend to turn on and off and flicker. I would feel comfortable in a group of people, but not so much on my own. The large grassed areas have 2 lights, which isn't really enough to cover the whole area. Danger to the pedestrians from vehicles is low as cars can't park on the path and there is a zebra crossing. The danger to cyclists from vehicles is also low as they ride on the path, meaning that the danger to pedestrians from cyclists is a bit higher, but the path is wide enough for both cyclists and pedestrians to share. When it comes to active transport, bike riding and walking are both encouraged. There's lots of bike racks available but offer little security, so a bike lock is a must. Access to public transport could also be improved. The closest bus stop is a 5 to 15 minute walk, depending on which side of the south you're coming from. When it comes to food options, most are situated in this area. There are 2 cafes, a bar and food option, a restaurant and a convenience and grocery store. The food is reasonably priced as it's aimed towards uni students, ranging from about $2 for a cookie at Oscar's Cafe to about $18 for a salad or a share plate at Coffee Grounds. All restaurants and cafes offer healthier options such as salads or fruit salads, but they're normally higher priced compared to their other similar options like a muffin. It is borderline healthy, but mostly they focus on sandwiches and burgers rather than healthier options. The convenience store specialises in Asian goods and you can buy processed foods and packaged foods here and some fruit and vegetables, but there's very little options. Also to note, there are some empty spaces underneath UC Lodge that could be used for a grocery or a fresh fruit option store. The cafes offer a welcoming environment to meet people and socialise, but other than that, there's not really many areas that are used for socialising. It's a very urban environment, so there's no water fountains, there's no public art, and there's little outdoor seating. Part 2 of the south side of University of Canberra campus is the residences Globo and New Res, which are also known as Wagon, Garubin and Dara. And there is also International House. These are all located near Cooinda Street. Around the residential buildings, there's a clear path that leads you through the buildings in a functional manner. There are some grassed areas in Globo, but not many in New Res, and they're small and uninviting, and there's no benches situated on the grass. The footpaths are well connected and the pathways are well maintained, although there are some broken and uneven parts that may cause someone to trip and fall. The path There is a path that leads around the areas, which is wheelchair accessible but is much longer than taking the shortcuts through the buildings, but they have stairs. There is little to no natural shade cast in this area of campus as there's little large trees. There is some shade behind buildings depending on the time of day. There are also little options for seating areas outside. There's a couple of benches with tables, but mostly what residences have done is set up outdoor living spaces on their balconies. It's reasonably well lit, but some parts and some of the buildings could do better. Globo and New Res seem to always have lights that are faulty or not working properly. Again, it's about a 5 to 10 minute walk to the bus stop, but bike racks here are more secure, needing to live on the residences and have a key to access the rack storage. There is only one food place in this area, which is Domino's. Most food options here are cost friendly. They're all about under $20, but there's no healthy option. It's very much aimed to university students who are living on a low budget. Otherwise, the other cafes mentioned previously are about a 5-minute walk. There are only 4 benches located around Globo, and then there's about 2 located in New Res. The greenery is pretty low quality and there's no extra facilities or public art. New Res is very unappealing. It has little wheelchair access and a very uninviting look from the outside. Globo is a little more appealing as the buildings have some colour but still isn't as inviting. I believe University of Canberra has done a pretty good job in creating a healthy and welcoming atmosphere, and that's more evident through UC Lodge and Cooper Lodge. I think areas to improve are healthier food options or creating a healthy grocery store where people can buy fresh fruit and vegetables rather than having to travel down to Belconnen to go to Coles or Woolworths. I think also another initiative would to have public art. There's lots of art students that could be commissioned or as part of their degree could create artworks on some of the buildings or create artworks near some of the buildings that would foster a more socialising atmosphere. Thank you for listening.